simple procedure. So to keep it simple, click chemistry was selected for the modification, taking advantage of the rapid and straightforward reaction between alcohol and anhydrides. So I present here the schema of between alcohol and anhydride. In our case, we selected polystyrene comaleic anhydride, henceforth denoted as PSNA. As indicated, this anhydride has two domains here. It has two domains. The anhydride, one must react with a hydroxyl-rich surface of the cotton fibers that incorporating a polystyrene chain on the surface. The micro extraction device consists of 100 microliter micropipettes. So we put 10 milligram of cotton polystyrene in micropipettes. We plus the 10 milligram and we pack the 10 milligram. The micro extraction procedure followed the typical micro solid phase extraction, comprising conditioning, sample loading, the pre-treated sample, using 3 aspiration cycle. So we dry and eject, and it's called a cycle. To promote the interaction of the analytes with the sorbent, washing and elution step, and the eluate was then analyzed by LCMS. The efficient synthesis of cotton polystyrene is affected by two: the amount of polystyrene in the precursor solution and the synthesis time. So the concentration of polystyrene was studied in the interval from 0 to 1%. The results show that the extraction rate increases with polystyrene, thus demonstrating the crucial role of polystyrene in the extraction of target compound. However, when we tried a higher amount of polystyrene, the extraction rate is reduced. This phenomenon is typical of highly hydrophobic sorbents whose surface presents a low wettability in water, somewhat restricting the transference of the analyte. For this reason, we kept 0.1% polystyrene as the amount of polymer concentration. As regards synthesis time, we evaluated between 1 hour and 6 hours, and the results demonstrate that 1 hour is enough to immobilize the polystyrene over the cellulose surface. The extraction performance is affected by several factors, including pH, ionic strength, and the number of strokes of circus, as I said, just to draw and eject. Therefore, we begin by pH. pH plays a crucial role because it affects the dissociation equilibration. We consider the chemical characteristic of the analyte. The sample pH was studied from 6 to 9. And higher pH were not evaluated to guarantee the stability of the sorbent and the analytes. So we studied also the impact of ionic strength by varying the salinity of the sample from 0 to 1%, and the extraction of tricyclic antidepressant drug showed a negative impact of salinity, thus indicated a diffusion-restricted sector. The addition of salt to the sample was not considered for further studies. Regards the number of strokes, so the signal increases with the number of strokes, although at higher cycles, the precision was affected. To speed up the extraction, 3 cycles were selected as the optimum value. let me proceed with the last part of my presentation. And as I just said, using natural materials and residues for synthesizing new sorted phases is an exciting alternative to make simple preparation greener and more affordable. The combination of both resources in the form of composites tries to provide a new generation of functional materials. Paper, so here we tried with paper. Paper-based sorted phases are interesting materials because they use paper, one, a cellulose substrate, a support with different functional group are immobilized. So in this context, paper sorted phases is prepared by the physical deposition of polyethylene comaleic vinyl acetate. It's a common glue. That we use it in bricolage. Over filter paper using deep coating technique. The synthesis just required the solubilization of the polymer in chloroform, the immersion of paper strip in this solution, and final evaporation of the solvent to create a polymer layer over the paper. The extraction procedure begins with the conditioning of paper polyvinyl using pure water, followed by its immersion on dilute urine for analyte extract. After extraction, the paper containing the analyte is rinsed with pure water to reduce urine-related interferences and dried at room temperature. Finally, the analytes are eluted using an eluent, subsequently analyzed also by LCMS and LC-MSMS. The key variables influencing the extraction performance of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors from urine using paper sorted phases have been thoroughly evaluated. So the percentage of polymer in precursor solution usually play a critical role in the sorption capacity of the resulting paper sorted phases. So this percentage was evaluated from 0.1 to 5%. A higher concentration were not evaluated because the solution became too viscous. And were not useful in deep coating. For comparative purposes, the extraction performance of unmodified paper, we tried here unmodified paper, was also evaluated. So results demonstrated the importance of the polymer in the extraction of the analytes because the presence of polymer increasing the extraction of analytes. The best results were obtained at different PAVA percentage, and 3% here, 3% was selected as a compromise between the analytes. For the number of dips, the paper is immersed into the polymeric solution, was studied in the interval from 1 to 7 dips. In general way, expected here VLX. The signal decrease with the number of dips, and this behavior is so typical in paper modified by dip coating, and it is ascribed to an excessive coating of the paper. In this case, the cellulose fibers are wholly covered and a smooth polymeric layer is obtained. However, for VLX here, it was the opposite, and this fact can be ascribed to an intense but not selective interaction of the analyte with the cellulose fiber. So 3 dips were selected as a compromise between both behaviors. After selecting the optimum paper polyvinyl ethyl acetate, the main variable affecting the extraction, namely pH, ionic strength, simple volume, and extraction time were studied. As expected, considering the polarity of the analyte, the extraction increases with the pH here for all the analytes. The results presents indicated a non-significant effect for ionic strength. Therefore, no salt addition was selected for further study. For the sample volume, we studied in the interval from 0.5 to 5 milliliter, and as expected, the analytic signal increases with the sample volume, and 5 milliliter was selected as the optimum value. Finally, the extraction kinetics were evaluated, monitoring the signal obtained at different extraction time between 1 to 60 minutes. The results demonstrated an increase in the extraction rate with the time, and 60 minutes was selected as the optimum value. And this relatively long extraction time does not affect the sample throughput, since several samples can be simultaneously extracted in an orbital shape. So, in conclusion, the extractive capacity of material depends not only on the component that constitute it, its interaction chemistry with the analyte, but also on its form of synthesis. Since these mark the physical appearance of the resulting material. In this presentation, three materials have been evaluated as substrates, and different modification processes have been evaluated, and the main conclusions of this development are shown in this slide. So, in the first experimental development, octanol coated wooden tips, toothpicks, were prepared and eventually used as devices for extracting non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs from saliva samples. And we are good results with good recovery and low limit of detection. In the second experimental development, cellulose cotton fibers coated with a polymer was synthesized using click chemistry, and the sorbent was used for the extraction of antidepressant from biological sample, from saliva sample. The entire cellulose surface can be used thanks to the covalent immobilization of the polymer. Synthesis here is easy and fast. And the third experimental sorbent, a paper-based sorbent phase, was synthesized by depositing polymer residue using deep coating technique. And the sorbent was used for the extraction of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors from urine samples. So the materials has demonstrated the ability to extract the target compound with high efficiency. Last but not least, I would like also to take this opportunity to invite you to publish in our journal, Chemistry Africa, edited by Springer, on behalf of the Tunisian Chemical Society, as an extension of the historical Journal de la Société Chimique de Tunisie. Chemistry Africa is multidisciplinary chemistry journal publishing high-quality organic, inorganic, analytical, and materials chemistry, regular and review papers. Is open for historical perspectives and chemical education. We have 57 editors from 27 countries, 3 editors-in-chief from Tunisia. Our impact factor is 2.3, and with a submission to the first decision with 8 days. It is important to recognize the team behind the work I have presented. So I would like to thank all my co-workers, colleagues, students, and collaborators, and assure you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor, for your wonderful talk on this extraction technique. I am Dr. Sanjay Soni with the session chair, and this is with me Dr. Gopal as a report here. So thank you for your wonderful talk. Let me ask one audience for any question. Is there any question, please? You can ask. Okay, you may please on your Google Meet and please ask any question in chat box also you can put. Please ask.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, how
Good
does
evening.
good evening. Ma'am, how does polymeric arrangement of cellulose in cotton affects mechanical strength?
How does
Ma'am, polymeric arrangement of cellulose of cotton.
Put your question on chat box.
Ma'am, how does the polymeric arrangement of cotton affects the mechanical strength?
you, you speak about the mechanical strength?
Yes, yes. Say yes.
It's about mechanical strength.
Yes, yes.
Madam, just we want to ask some cotton polymers, how they affect mechanical efficiency, mechanical strength. Regarding that parameter of mechanical strength, how that cotton polymer arrangement affects. This is yes asking.
Okay. So it can affect it strengthen the mechanical property when we add polymer on cellulose fibers. It strengthens the cotton fibers, and it makes it more strengthened.
If anybody else want, you can put his question on chat box, or you can ask.
Hello. Good
Hello.
evening, ma'am. Thank you
Good
for the amazing
evening.
lecture. Please ignore
Thank
my
you.
ignorance if there is any. I have two questions. The first one is we understood the whole thing about the covalent modification of cotton fibers with polystyrene. If you could give some specific ground how they compare to conventional sorbents in terms of selectivity and reusability.
Okay. So in terms of selectivity, we try other compounds to determine its selectivity. And for usability, we tried also the reusability. We use 1, 2, 3, more than 5 cycles, and we tried if it is the recovery is for example 100%. It is decrease, increase or decrease. So we tried selectivity and reusability.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. And just this
Okay.
last small
Oh, this
question.
is only last
In the
question.
paper
Please, please.
PVA phase in the micro extraction, how does it offer advantage over the traditional extraction methods in annulate recovery?
Yeah, now the goal is the miniaturization of all the protocol. So if we use, for example, few milligram of adsorbents, a few milliliter, or it's we get more and more few solvent, few adsorbent, so we can minimize the procedure.
Thank you, madam. Rest questions may be put on chat box and on your email. A student may ask in your mail. Thank you for your wonderful talk in this conference.
Thank
I,
you. Thank you for
I
attending.
welcome you. Thank you, madam. Thank you for.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Dr. Kushwaha, convener of the program. Uh, am I audible, ma'am?
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, we are very grateful to you for delivering such a nice talk for our students.
Thank you.
Definitely, it will be very beneficial to all students of our college in the long run. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Latifa.
Thank you.
I hope to
It's my
see you
pleasure.
someday at India.
Sure. Sure. It's my pleasure. I'm honored to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. You can now
Thank you.
take a leave. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
क्या सीन है? कोई लैपटॉप में डिस्कनेक्ट करना? नहीं अभी हो गया चलो भाई जाना हाँ सर करनी
Hello. Are invited for the lunch in the same venue. And after the lunch, there will be the poster session again. If committee members wants to visit your poster, so you have to assemble there. Now the principal Jabalpur Engineering College Jabalpur have circulated a notice for the research scholars and teachers of our college. They may also come to visit your posters. And after that, you can visit the physics department for the research facilities. And we will start the validatory session sharp at 4 p.m. from this hall also. Okay, thank you.